It was a stormy night in a small village. Thunder rolled across the clouds. Lightning split the darkness. And somewhere, in a tiny house, at the edge of the village, a little girl was about to arrive. And then she came. The nurse looked down at the tiny girl in her hands
Look at her.
and whispered,
She is absolutely beautiful. Look at her little fingers.
Papa held her like she was made of light, his eyes filled with happy tears. The kind that mean, everything I ever worked for was for this moment. The nurse looked down at the tiny girl in her hands and whispered, "This one is a gift from God." They named her Radhika. And then Grandma held her. She closed her eyes and prayed, thanking, promising, the way only grandmothers know how to do. Radhika grew up wrapped in love. Every morning started the same way. The smell of dal and rice, a fresh roti on the tawa, Mama moving around the kitchen, clay pots, wood fire,
Try the dal.
steel
It's
plates,
ready.
simple things. But they made the whole house feel like the safest place in the world.
And then the goat said,
Lunch was everyone
not
sitting on
my
the floor
cabbage."
together. Ordinary
You
days.
are always telling the
But one day
silliest
Radhika would
stories.
realize
He didn't realize the
those
buffalo
ordinary
was
days
behind
were the
him until
most
it
beautiful
sneezed.
of her life.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
Before school, every day, Mama would make her hair. 2 tight braids. Not one hair out of place. Radhika would complain, "Ma, it's too tight." And Mama would say,
Almost done. Just a little longer, my love.
Are they tight enough, Amma? I don't want them coming undone in class.
Perfect. Now go quickly. Just a little longer, my sweet girl. There.
she always looked proper. And every morning, it was Grandma who walked her to school, down the same lane.
Are you excited for school today, my love?
Yes, Grandma. We are learning about the stars.
Make sure you share your lunch today and listen carefully to your teacher, okay? And then the little monkey climbed all the way up the tallest neem tree. Don't you worry, my little bird. School will be fun today, and I will be waiting right here when you finish. Are you excited for school today, my little...
Yes, Pati. I hope we
Radhika
paint today.
would hold her hand, just a little tighter than necessary.
Very good, children. Now, who can tell me what this word means? Now, children, look closely at the board. This is how we find the square root. Make sure you write this down. in
Radhika
the
was
notebook.
bright, genuinely, quietly, beautifully bright, like her father.
All right, Radha. What is twice 11? It is 22, teacher. You are very clever. Always keep asking questions, okay? That is how we learn.
One day, after class, her teacher called her aside and said something Radhika never forgot. Radhika,
You are very clever. Always keep asking questions, okay? That is how we learn.
this village school is not enough for you. You are meant for bigger things. Radhika didn't fully understand it that day. She was just a child. But somewhere deep inside, a small quiet flame lit up. Every evening, after the sun had gone completely, Radhika would sit down under the lamp. One notebook, one pencil, That was enough. The flame would flicker when the wind came through the window, and Radhika would cover it with her hand, just for a second, until it steadied again. No phone, no television, no noise from the outside world. Just Radhika, and the lamp, and the words on the page. That lamp was everything. It showed her, even in the darkest room, even in the smallest village, she could still shine. Because she was bright, she was kind, and because she was kind, she had friends, a small group of village kids who became her world. They walked to school together every morning. They walked back together every afternoon. After school, Radhika would rush home, change out of her uniform as fast as possible,
We are waiting.
because her friends were already waiting outside every single day.
Yes, let's
One
go
afternoon,
quickly before
they
it
had a
gets
plan.
dark.
They were going to learn how to ride a bicycle. 6 of them, a big open ground. So much excitement. They took turns. They fell. They laughed. It was one of those afternoons that feels like it could last forever.
It's getting late.
But then,
Hurry up.
evening came,
Faster.
and it was time to go home. Everyone got on the cycles. Radhika waited. She looked at her friends. She smiled, but nobody made space for her. There were excuses. Quiet ones. Mumbled ones. She understood what they really meant, and so she walked. While her friends rode ahead laughing, Radhika walked behind them, alone, in the dust. She felt like, I don't have a cycle. Doesn't mean they will treat me like this. By the time she reached home, the tears she had been holding couldn't be held anymore. Papa was sitting outside when she came home. He saw the tear rolling down her cheek before she could wipe it away. What happened, Radhika? He asked softly, and she told him everything in her small, broken child's voice. How they didn't make space, how she walked while they rode. Papa didn't say anything for a long time. He just listened, and his heart quietly broke, the way a parent's heart breaks when they cannot protect their child. But then he remembered an old cycle in the shed, dusty, forgotten, broken, and he made a decision. He took the cycle to the village mechanic. It took 2 days. Two days later, Radhika came outside and stopped. There it was, clean, repaired, waiting for her. Papa, standing next to it, trying to look casual, failing completely. Radhika looked at the cycle, then at her father, and she saw something on his face she would never forget. Happy tears. She just ran and hugged him. Life will sometimes leave you walking while others ride ahead. People will make you feel like you are too much or not enough. But somewhere at home, there is always someone who sees the tear you try to hide, and that someone will always find a way. This was just the beginning of Radhika's story, and every storm she would ever face would only teach her wings how to be stronger.